what you think depression is, and have you ever experienced it yourself?
They have different level, first of all, in depression. Where the real depression can start is when you have accumulated, repressed emotion. Often can happen after a trauma. And again, trauma has different level by itself. A trauma can be light or heavy. Depression can be called also as anger turned towards you. The society is telling us, okay, you are angry, but that's not polite. You cannot shout in front of everyone. You need to smile, you need to wear a mask and all that BS. Then that person will turn the anger inwards. And one day it's too much. The cup is full. And in general, people are going in a deep, deep, deep depression. And it turns sometimes to very bad thought about, I'm ready to take my life. I don't want to stay here anymore. I want to die. Or when someone is dying, I had cases in my client, someone died and they want to go with that person because they cannot cope with the situation. Then the advice I want to give to people is when you go to that stage, go to seek help. And I will tell you why, because I passed by. That's difficult for me to say that today, but you feel my emotion in my voice. But I'm ready to say it. I've been 5 times in that situation where it was a very deep depression. I was under very heavy treatment, but was not sufficient. And I decided to take my life 5 times. 2 times was really, really deep. I was at the hospital, not in coma, but intensive care, that they didn't know if I will come back. I have to say this now. What is making me emotional today is because who I am today. I'm not the same person. And I can tell you I'm fully healed. And never I had that thought anymore. After I healed completely, many people are knowing me. They are far away to imagine what I passed through. It seems like unbelievable, impossible, but I'm here today to tell you I'm out of the grave. I was somehow with 1 foot in the grave, my head too, and I came out of the grave. And I'm here to testimony that yes, it's possible. Even after 5 tentatives that failed, I'm very happy that I failed at that time. It's possible to heal. It's like invisible disease. We have been taught to bury our emotions. When we want to speak, the family doesn't understand, and that was my case. This is why I went so deep. Family was not able to understand. I want to emphasize this. Many people don't realize that it's taking a long time before it's manifesting. It's like the invisible things at the back of your mind that is following you wherever you go. And that's the big problem with depression. It is very important to speak with a professional. I've been followed with many. I changed psychiatric doctor many times, and finally I found a good one. They kept me closed into a clinic in Germany. That was the last one where I've been. I stayed in that clinic 6 months, 8 months, I don't remember exactly. It's starting in general with a trauma. Or accumulated trauma in my case. It was a collection of trauma. I'm born in a family that is very dysfunctional. And at the age of 4 years old, my mom was giving me a broom to beat my father because my father was beating her. And they had blood everywhere. This is an image that I'm still remember today. And it took me a long time to heal from that. Then when you start life this way, with a mother who is falling pregnant at 16, didn't want you. My parents' divorce, I was 5, was a new trauma. I was already with few trauma at the age of 5. I felt rejected. New trauma accumulated one after another. Then the biggest one arrived. I was 12 years old and I've been abused. He gave me alcohol. And then he said, I wanted that. If you look back already, I have an accumulation of many trauma. That one ended up in front of the police where he convinced me to say, no, I wanted that. Imagine how brainwashed I was. I started to consume a lot of alcohol, started to smoke and everything. Of course, you are not balanced. When you have accumulated trauma after trauma, your wholeness doesn't exist anymore. And the point of healing is to come back into wholeness. Today I can say, I'm whole again. I'm feeling complete. I achieved my wholeness. And the proof is I can speak about this. The only emotion I have is because people who knows me don't know that story. I'm just revealing for some people who even are close to me. They will be shocked and forgive me for that. But I had to reveal one day, and I decided that was today. And I encourage every person who passed by any difficult situation, either the trauma is light, heavy, everyone has a different sensibility, and it's very important to speak. Better to go to see a professional. That's my advice. Depression was not enough somehow because I was constantly thinking of dying, thinking of what I'm doing here, why I'm here. I have nothing to do here. I was not happy. I was angry, and my feeling was nobody loved me. Otherwise, why all that stuff would happen to me, you know? I developed vaginismus for years. I still don't know how I got my daughter. I wanted to heal, but because I lied, because I had to hide what happened to me, my mind deleted. Because I developed that condition, it means my body was already speaking from that abuse. Gynae, psychiatric, physiotherapist, I've tried. One looked at me and said, "Have you been raped?" Of course, I had no chance to heal because I was in full denial. And this is important to understand for the people who are listening now. I was lying to myself for many, many years. Then, of course, vaginismus stays. Nothing was working. It was horrible. It's humiliating also. It's a shame for a woman. Long story short, finally I fall pregnant. Time passed. I have a good life for a while, and I continue to repress my emotion, and I pretend that everything is okay because I have a baby. You know, every denial was stronger all the time. I became somehow professional in denying my emotion. I was going to work because I was a finance manager. Mask. Total mask. And I was so talented at this because I was doing this since years. But really, please don't do that. Because I've been forced somehow to do this because my family was not ready to hear what I had to say. Then you don't want to speak anymore. And then it's ending up with that guy being beaten and all the stuff. One night I did again, but that was the last one and the worst one. Between I had others, but they found me before. I was unconscious all the time, but they found me. And the last one, I ended up into intensive care for, I think, 72 hours. They didn't know if I would come back. I didn't want to stay in Luxembourg anymore because he was still violent even by distance. He was following me. Then I decided to move. That was the only option. My first attempt to my life was at 28 years old. The last attempt must be around 38 years old. And I arrived in Dubai. And my ghosts were still with me here. This is why it's important. I need to emphasize that to go to the root. Yes, it's painful because your ghost, meaning your trauma, people even in your memories are like ghosts and they follow you everywhere. You can go even in a monastery with the monk. They will follow you. It will not disappear like that. And today I'm explaining to my client these important things. You cannot heal your life in 1 hour. I've been in psychiatric hospital for months, and I know many take the courage to face it. And that's when I discovered hypnotherapy. I started to follow the course of hypnotherapy because I wanted to heal my big ghosts that were following me everywhere. After that, I've done shamanism. And after I went to other different courses like transpersonal regression therapy, and you name it, the list is long, and I had a lot to heal. For me, it's transpersonal regression and shamanism that helped me to go deep to the root of the problem. I was totally broken since my childhood. This is why I fall so deep into depression. I want to say to people, the most important part in your healing, no matter what happened to you, it's happening for you. If you look at me today, I can say clearly, I'm emotional, I'm vulnerable. I allow myself to be vulnerable. I'm not like a rock and with my big mask. No, you can read my emotion. I'm not ashamed, you know. And this is very important to understand. Let things coming out of you. That's very, very important to feel your emotion. That's very important to admit that they have an issue. Admit that, yes, I have a big challenge there. Look how I'm reacting in that situation. And that's the moment where you need to say, okay, I have a trigger. This is happening for me. Search for the root, because they have a root. They have a beginning. They have underlying issue that the person is in full denial, doesn't want to feel, doesn't want to hear, doesn't want to know. That's it. I have denied for years. Oh, I didn't want to feel. It's time to let the emotion going out of you. It's time to feel, to release. And most of the time, people don't want to feel it, to let the emotion going out. And most of the time, we have also the tendency to resist. When we feel an emotion comes in, no, I cannot cry, I cannot be angry, I cannot be sad. I think for women, one important subject is speaking about the relationship with your own father that leads to your future relationship with men. Many women who had a very specific relationship with the father, it's mirroring in the future relationship with men and leads sometimes to a real disaster. I think it's important to speak about this because many women are facing difficult relationship and they don't understand from where it's coming from. Everything is possible. Yeah. I'm the proof alive here. And yeah, I am very happy. I know my happiness is coming from inside. I'm really joyful because I'm complete, I'm whole again.